Who knew like music could be this powerful? Like we're changing lives.
Yes!
So it's another very beautiful day today, and if you're new to my channel, I'm Brianna. I'm a music therapy intern, and today I'm very excited because I have some special guests on my channel, Janine and Madelene, who are my co-interns at UCSF, and so we're all music therapy interns, and we're super excited to be there. And yeah, today's video is a very special one because I've been thinking about it, and I asked them to think of the most commonly asked questions we've heard as music therapy student / interns that we've just gotten, that people ask us when we say, oh, we're studying music therapy and stuff. So without further ado, let's give a little brief bio about us.
Alright, hey! I'm Janine. My primary instrument is violin. I used to teach violin, but I got into music therapy, studied at University of Pacific. I'm getting my master's and getting certified right now. And I'm from the North Bay area.
That is so cool. Alright, Madeline.
So I'm Madeline. I also graduated from University of Pacific this past year. My primary instrument is voice, where I study classically over at UOP. And I'm originally from Fresno. But yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Of course, of course. And of course, I'm Brianna, and my primary instrument is guitar, and I also studied at UOP and just graduated, same class as Madeline, and I studied classical guitar at UOP, and I actually transferred to UOP, so that's a whole different story, other videos on my channel. But yeah, very excited to be interning together with Janine and Madeline, and we just started 3 weeks ago? Exactly 3 weeks, yeah, exactly 3 weeks ago. So we just hit 3 weeks and we have a few more months to go, but it's been super fun. And yeah, so let's just get started right into the questions. And so how it's gonna work is we're just gonna have one person ask the questions, and either one of the other two can answer them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so first question is, what population do you work with as a music therapist, and where do you work as a music therapist?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Get that a lot.
In terms of population, I'd say that there's a wide variety of populations that we serve. Like us, we're right now serving pediatric patients, but there are other populations like older populations, whether it's like hospice, or in like an adult hospital, a general hospital. There's also schools. Sometimes behavioral centers, and there's also like correctional facilities or state hospitals. What else is there? I feel like there's a lot.
It's like a lot, like just anywhere with like maybe like rehab, like me and Madeline's worked with like the speech clinic at UOP, so co-treating with speech language pathologists. Yeah, I think there's like so many, like schools, special education schools. We've worked there before. So there's honestly a lot of different populations and settings that you could work with, and they're all amazing, and they all kind of have different like interventions / like techniques that we use. Like they're like slightly different, but like, you know, like if you have a good like education, which I think we have a good education, then they prepare you well for any population that population / setting you might end up at. Yeah. You have anything to add?
I agree.
So many. The world is your oyster, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's very broad, I feel. So the next question is, or that we've received, is how do you become a music therapist? Do you need a master's or just a bachelor's?
I got that a lot, honestly. Whenever people ask about our profession.
What do you need to become?
Yeah, I can speak from my experience because I know Janine's a little bit different. So, I mean, in general, you do need to get a bachelor's degree in music therapy, and also complete a 16-month or 1,200-hour internship.
Maybe 6 months.
Or no, 12. Did I say 16 months?
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Not that long.
Not that long. 6 months or 12
I was
months.
like, 16.
I was like, are we supposed to be here longer?
My bad.
Yeah.
Cut.
No, it's
Let's
fine.
try that again.
6 months.
Where was I saying? But yeah, so you do have to get your bachelor's in music therapy and complete a 6-month internship or like 1,200 hours equivalent. And so right after you do that, then you would get get the chance to take your board certification exam, and then once you get there, hopefully you'll pass, and then you'll officially become MTBC. So you don't necessarily need a master's, but you totally can. You can continue your education. Like Janine has a little bit of a different experience, so she can kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so I got my bachelor's at UC Davis. I was a biopsychology major, and I didn't know about music therapy until like halfway through my undergrad. So I was looking up ways I could still do music therapy. I wasn't able to get another bachelor's, but they have alternative programs like at UOP or in other schools and out of state, I think, where you can do an equivalency program and master's. So I'm basically just taking this 3-year program where I pretty much get the same education as them, and I do the 6-month internship, and I will be board certified, but I also have another year or a couple semesters where I'm going to get my master's as well. So that's an alternative if you're looking into music therapy but you already have your bachelor's. And it really helps to have a bachelor's in something related to music therapy, like psychology, human development, music especially, or if you minored in music, sociology, so anything like that. Yep. So it's never too late.
It isn't.
So another question that we get asked quite a bit is, how often do you practice or use your primary instrument?
So for me, since guitar is my primary, I feel like as a music therapist, that is our main instrument that we use because it's very portable, easy to clean, and especially in the hospital setting that we work at now, it's very, just easy to clean and portable, which is very helpful. Like we can move around, and it's just a very good accompaniment instrument. And because keyboard, it's like we also learn keyboard in like undergrad and or our education, but then it's harder to carry a keyboard rather than just like a guitar case. So that's why we use guitars as music therapists. And so for me, since my primary is guitar, I use it a lot every day, multiple hours a day, and yeah.
Oh, for me, my primary is violin, so actually coming into it, I thought I'd use it more, but to be honest, I don't use it that much. Mostly guitar and piano, which I've had to grow in those skills a lot, and singing too. But on occasion, I've used it for like special events. Especially.
Like yesterday!
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
throwback to yesterday, we did this like show for the
Kids
hospital,
show.
little kids show.
Yeah.
We were like the Blues Clues. Or
Like they stream it
Yeah.
only inside the hospital for the children on the
Closed circuits.
the Child Life channel, and we got to do a little show that was ocean themed, and Janine brought her amazing violin skills into the session.
No, definitely. So kind of special things like that. I get to bring my violin, kind of show it, and then kind of educate people what the violin's about. I've used it for like our last sessions for our kids.
Like
where
special
I'd play,
instruments.
yeah, like I'd play a special song for them, and I've used it. It's just something cool to bring in. They really love that when you bring in your primer, like, ooh, what's that kind of thing. But I don't use it too often. But I think when you become an intern or a music therapist, you have more freedom to use it, because I think during our internship they'll give us more freedom to use, for me, the violin, and as a therapist I definitely want to use it more, but I don't use it as much, but definitely still keep it up because it could be useful in the future. Alright, so next question is, what types of music or what genres of music do you usually play as a music therapist?
Any and all.
Honestly, yeah, any and all.
Yes. It's like a wide variety because you're working with so many different people, different backgrounds, whether you're going to be playing religious music one session, or maybe cultural music, or music from the 60s, because that's just the preferred music of the clients or patients, or the top 100 on Billboard. So a big thing with music therapy is client preferred music. Is that, yeah, client preferred music. So also that's a big thing to take into consideration as well.
We've been working on like compiling like a really big like repertoire list, right? And maybe sorting it a specific way, like whether it's like genre or like decade or like children's, adults, like yeah, just like sorting it. And a lot of the times when we do a session, like we ask the patients slash clients what do they want to sing that day, and for them it's very therapeutic to be able to choose a song and sing something that they love hearing. And it's live music, which there are also many benefits of live music and just socializing with the therapist, and like if family members are there, which a lot of times they are, we can all sing together, and it's just a very happy time when you get to sing like your favorite song with people around you. So I think recap again, any and all is the answer for that question. So the next question is, what do you do as a music therapist in a hospital setting? Because I feel like it's a little different than like when you're working at like a long-term living care center or like a special ed school. So what is it like working in a hospital setting?
Yeah, so definitely being in a hospital, especially for children, it can be very traumatizing, especially since they're still growing and they're used to just playing and being in school, and being in the hospital is like totally the opposite of that. So definitely one of the ways we can use music therapy is to normalize the environment, give them a positive experience. Like we did like a little TV show. Sometimes we bring in instruments for them to give them a space to express themselves and to just play with instruments and socialize with other patients or with us and other staff as well. So kind of helping them cope with their stay, definitely through music, is one of the reasons. I don't know if to that.
Yeah, honestly, that's beautifully said.
That was very beautifully said. You said all the goals that coping skills is very important, and like positive and happy environment.
Yeah, just creating basically a safe space, like through music, where more often than not, some patients may not feel as safe in the hospital just because of how hectic and chaotic the environment may be. So just providing that period of time for the clients to feel,
Express themselves.
feel
be
comfortable. In their fields.
And I think it's also very different is that I think for all therapists, it's like very interdisciplinary, kind of like where we work with a lot of the other staff in the hospital. Like we've co-treated, like who have you co-treated with? Like
Physical therapists,
child life
specialists.
Yeah.
Speech language pathologist,
occupational
therapists. Yeah.
So there's like a lot of people you work with. So it's like team effort for the child's benefit, which is I think is super cool that we all get to be a part of their time at the hospital, and that hopefully we can just bring some joy through music.
One of the other most commonly asked questions is, I know this comes from a good place, but a lot of people ask us, like, do you just sing and they feel better? Which is, what do y'all think?
Take it away.
Yes.
I think as music therapists, I think we're all like musicians, right? And therapists, right? But we do enjoy like music a lot, and performing, maybe not like large crowds, but we do enjoy performing at some level. And so as a music therapist, the music is not for us. The music is for the client / patient, right? So when you're performing, you don't really have to think about like, oh, how will my client react, or like read their behavior, or like, maybe it's too much stimulation, right? Like maybe I should stop, right? And it's like a lot of factors that a musician doesn't look into, that we as music therapists are like trained in. Like Janine works with little cute babies, and so they don't really have a lot of verbal skills, right? So Janine and all of us, we also work with like sometimes with babies, but like we learn to read like their behaviors, and like we're all doing like a child development project where we like kind of like understand more of like how the child, like what is typical behavior for the child at that stage, right? And so I think we use music as like a tool to like reach other goals that are non-musical, whether that be like social, emotional, just like coping, like just so many skills that music can just help facilitate, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And it kind of goes with like a misconception, like sometimes people think, oh yeah, listening to music is my therapy. That's music therapy. I think one of our professors, like UOP, put it quite nicely, where he said like that's more like music wellness, of like when we listen to music, like it benefits our wellness. For music therapy, we're working with people who really need help with their therapeutic goals. So yeah, it is using music as a tool to help with those goals. We are also trained to know how to change music and use like the elements of music to achieve these goals. So principle.
Like match like the mood at like the patient, or like try to like, or if they need to like, you know, be brought up, you know, like their mood, then music can help aid with that or bring down.
It's like the difference, our professor would always say this, it was like the difference between the well-intentioned volunteer guitarist come into a hospital or whatever to play for, you know, the patients versus a music therapist. There really is a big difference, even though it may not seem like it, very like on the surface level. But like they both said, we are trained, we are educated and trained to use music as a way to form that therapeutic relationship and help the patients reach those goals.
And sometimes like if a session doesn't even like have music in it, like that's okay, because you know we're therapists, right? We like we're there to listen and like just like be there, be a support system, I guess. And but we're still music therapists because that's just how we're trained. But yeah, so I think it's just using music in a very cool way that we just all love. What is the most fulfilling part about being a music therapist? Or almost a full music therapist.
A music therapist in progress.
Yes. It's like loading. It's like almost there.
Over 5%.
Yeah. I know. Oh man.
I can go first.
Yeah.
I think we in our past few years of schooling, we had a few like different field works where we got to be or lead therapy sessions for different populations / settings. But this is my actually first hospital setting and population that wasn't stimulated, because I had a simulated one. This is ours. All of our first hospital population setting. And so for me, like I said, like every population and setting may be a little bit different. So I didn't really know what I was expecting, but like these past few weeks, like even just observing our supervisors has been like really eye-opening, and like a lot of moments where I'm just like, wow, I didn't expect this, or like a lot of feelings come up like during the session, and thankfully a lot of them are very happy ones, right? And so I think the most fulfilling part that I find so far is just being able to sing with the patients and like all together, and like there's just something about like that moment of like togetherness, I guess, that I really enjoy, and I love that I can do like what I love and make other people like smile and like sing with me, and it just makes my heart smile. Like it's really hard to describe, like, but it just makes me like really happy, and that like I love my job.
Definitely agree with that. I guess for me, like one of the most fulfilling parts, because it's hard to just choose one, or they all kind of intertwine with each other. But definitely just like the idea of that if I can just do the smallest thing to just make someone feel even the littlest, like tiniest better than how they felt before. I think that's really, really rewarding, just being able to be a part of someone's journey, you know, wherever they are, just helping them either feel comfortable, feel better, feel happier in whatever space they may be in. Just being able to be part of that is really, really special, and really rewarding in a sense, like, wow, this this is my job. This is great, you know.
Yeah, this is my job.
Like,
I
this
think.
is my job.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just making people feel better, and also with, I'm sure all of us can relate. Also using one of the things that we all love, which is music. So just being able to use that and just like help people in whatever way that may look like in their situation. It's just very rewarding.
I agree.
No, I mean, to add to that, and I 100% agree with what they're saying. And I think also, as I'm thinking about it now, a really fulfilling thing is like how humbling it is, especially seeing like patients who are going through such a rough time, how resilient they are, and how even music is helping them through this experience. To be a part of that is very fulfilling, and it just helps me in just like loving music even more. Who knew like music could be this powerful? Like we're changing lives.
Oh, yes, we're changing lives.
Shout out to our
Shout
supervisor.
out, hashtag changing lives.
I think that's such a cool thing that we get to do. That like being part of someone's like journey. Like So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Madeline and Janine for joining me in this conversation slash just question Q&A, I guess.
Q&A.
Yeah. And I hope that you found this video informative, and to all the future music therapists out there or prospective students, it really is a really good job. It's a really rewarding and it's very amazing job. And so don't forget to like and subscribe for more music therapy videos and probably covers with these two amazing co-interns. And don't forget to live a life you can't put into words. Peace.